There's nothing quite like the excitement of embarkation day. You finally see the ship and your vacation truly begins. But right here in this first hour is where most passengers fall into the common traps that start their trip with stress and frustration. But not you. Not today. We're revealing the 12 things you should never do when you board. This is the playbook that helps you cruise smarter, calmer, and more prepared than 90% of the people on board. And pay close attention to mistake number 7. It's an innocent-looking setting on your phone that has led to vacation-ruining bills for over $1,000. Let's dive in and start your vacation the right way. Number 1, the same-day flight gamble. All right, let's kick things off with the biggest gamble in cruising. And it happens before you even see the port. It's the temptation to fly in on the morning of your cruise. I get it. It seems efficient. It saves you a hotel bill, but you are essentially playing financial roulette with your entire vacation. In today's world of unpredictable flights, one delay, one mechanical issue, or one weather system is all it takes to watch your multi-thousand trip literally sail away without you. And let's be crystal clear, the ship will not wait. There are no exceptions. The golden rule of stress-free cruising is simple. Always fly in the day before. This isn't just a tip. It's the single best way to eliminate embarkation day anxiety. Instead of a frantic, nail-biting race against the clock, you get a calm, leisurely morning just minutes from the terminal. And here's the pro move. Look into pre-cruise hotel packages. Services like GoPort in Orlando and similar companies in other port cities can bundle your hotel and your transfers from the airport and to the ship. It turns a logistical chore into the official first night of your vacation. Number 2, getting your arrival time wrong. When you check in for your cruise, you have to select an arrival time. And this leads to the next mistake. Not understanding the strategy behind that choice. While there are pros and cons to arriving early or late, what you should never do is disregard the time you selected. Now, this is a hotly debated topic. The official advice is to abide by the time you chose. Cruise lines create these slots to manage the flow of thousands of people and prevent the terminal from becoming chaotic. Arriving outside your time contributes to the massive queues that can delay everyone. However, many experienced cruisers find these times aren't always strictly enforced and regularly show up early without a problem. So what should you do? The mistake is arriving early and expecting to walk right on. The safest bet is to stick to your time. But if you do arrive early, you must be aware that you might be asked to wait. The main thing is to consciously decide what kind of experience you want. An early arrival means more time to explore the ship. You'll have plenty of time to grab a bite to eat, check out the amenities, and start your vacation hours before those who arrive later. On the other hand, some people prefer to arrive late. Boarding around 1:30 or 2 p.m. typically means shorter lines, less congestion at the buffet, and immediate access to your stateroom, allowing for a more leisurely start. Number 3, don't forget your carry-on bag. When you first arrive at the terminal, you'll be greeted by porters ready to take your large luggage. It's a fantastic service, but it leads to a critical mistake, handing over everything. What you should never do is let those big bags go without first packing a smaller essential carry-on. Here's why. Once you give your main suitcases to the porter, they are whisked away into the ship's loading process. You will not see them again for hours. They'll be delivered outside your stateroom much later in the day. Because you won't have access to your packed clothes and toiletries, you must have a carry-on bag with all your important documents and valuables. This includes your passports and cruise documents, any necessary medication, jewelry, and electronics. It's also wise to pack a swimsuit and a change of clothes for the evening. And definitely don't pack away your cruise-specific items like the Princess Medallion or your printed luggage tags. You absolutely cannot send your suitcase off only to realize your passport is inside. You need it to complete the physical check-in process. Thankfully, most porters are trained to ask if you have your documents with you, but the final responsibility is yours. Number 4, never attempt to sneak prohibited items on board. Packing for a cruise is unlike packing for a land-based vacation. There's a specific list of items that are prohibited on cruise ships, and what you should never do is try to sneak them past security. This includes obvious fire hazards like clothing irons and steamers, but there are also less obvious items. For example, some Caribbean countries actually prohibit camouflage-patterned clothing. So, it's always critical to check the rules for your specific itinerary. If you try to bring a forbidden item in your carry-on, your boarding process will be stopped and delayed right at the security scanner. Likewise, if you try to smuggle something in your checked bags, they will also get flagged. This means you'll find a note in your cabin to go down and visit security, and it will significantly delay when you get your luggage delivered. The simple rule is to never assume something is allowed. A quick 5-minute check of your cruise line's official prohibited items list before you pack can save you a long, frustrating delay on embarkation day. Number 5, don't try and skip the muster drill. Before the ship can set sail, every single passenger must complete the mandatory safety drill, also known as the muster drill. What you should never do is treat this as optional or something you can ignore. The ship is legally not allowed to leave port until every person is accounted for. The good news is that the process is much easier than it used to be. Today, most ships use a virtual muster system. You simply watch the required safety videos on your phone via the cruise line's app or on your state data room TV, and then you visit your assigned assembly station for a quick check-in where a crew member will scan your card. The whole thing usually takes just a few minutes. Amidst all the excitement of embarkation day, it can easily slip your mind, but you won't be able to hide. The ship's crew will make frequent announcements, and they will eventually start calling out the names and cabin numbers of those who haven't completed it. Get it done the moment you get on board, and then you can relax, and your vacation can truly begin. Number 6, do not consume too much alcohol. Vacation is a time to let loose. And if you have a drink package, you'll naturally want to get your money's worth. But the mistake you should never make is overindulging, especially on the very first day. Beyond just feeling awful with a hangover on day 2 of your expensive trip, there's a critical reason to drink responsibly: your travel insurance. Many policies contain clauses that may deny coverage for any injuries that happen while you are intoxicated. A simple slip and fall could turn into a major financial issue if your claim is denied. On top of that, you don't want to start your vacation feeling nauseous and dehydrated. Remember that the sun and sea air will dehydrate you faster, so it's essential to drink plenty of water between alcoholic beverages. It's fine to indulge more than you do at home, but know your limits. Your